Hey everyone, this is Jay and Maestro, founder of Don't Limit Your Identity, and today I'm visiting my great friend Ivan Rivera, who is founder and president of Fortius Inc. I'm actually here at his home office in the Belmont, California area, near kind of like Wrigley, north side of Chicago. Phenomenal location, super proud of this brother. He's come a long way, and that's why today I'm going to have him share his story, who he is, how did Fortius Inc. Get started off, how did it launch, and just kind of share his story. It's important. I know that there's entrepreneurs out there or those that are looking to become entrepreneurs, and sometimes they have questions and stuff, and he can share how he got started, and along with that, share a lesson for you, because as you know, I share that word of the day. And a matter of fact, today happened to be business, and with that, I was sharing how you want to leverage working with your business partners. But don't focus only on getting business partners that are in separate industries than you are. And I say this because I'm in the insurance industry, just like Ivan here. And there are situations where I may not be able to help everyone, but Ivan can. For a matter of fact, right now he's currently helping my aunt, my grandmother, my grandmother's husband. So there's value in that. And I've had people push me away because they say, hey, we're in the same industry and we can't work together. No, that's not necessarily true. We can. And Ivan and I realized that, we've known each other for 15 plus years. We went to high school together. We worked at Tony's Finer Food together. And now we're both in the insurance industries and helping families, right? And that's important. So before I continue to go on, I'm going to go ahead and just turn it over to Ivan and have him share who he is. And so
awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Jason, and I really appreciate the opportunity to share a word with your viewers. And I have in my hand the patch.
That's right. That's right.
I have in my hand the patch that, if you've noticed, Jason has on his hat.
Right there, everyone.
It's a phenomenal patch. I'm actually just going to go ahead and, there you go. D-I, or actually D-L-Y-I.
That's right.
I was thinking about DIY, do it yourself.
Why not? It sounds good. Right?
There you go. But Jason, tell me again. D-L-Y-I. Don't limit
your
identity. And this is actually my patch, guys. This is mine. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on a hat. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on this hat. Probably not. But I love this patch because if you heard what Jason said, that through faith, correct?
Correct.
And determination, you will reach success in pursuing your identity. Did I hit it?
You hit it just right. Perfect, brother.
Very good. Thank you. Well, like Jason said, my name is Ivan Rivera, and I'm really excited about this opportunity to share because I understand that there's someone out there that might view this video on Facebook, Instagram, let's just say social media, so I don't leave any out, that is going through something maybe at home, at work, or within themselves. And they may just simply need to hear a word that will, I wouldn't say change their life, but maybe change their perspective.
Yes.
On what they're currently going through. Let's be honest. I don't always feel like an entrepreneur.
Right.
I don't always feel like an entrepreneur. I don't always feel like I'm winning. I don't always feel like I have very many friends. I don't always feel like, let's just be real. Can I be real?
Please. I want the viewers to see the transparency within us. And that's the whole thing behind this video, through how we're going to go ahead and stream it, is just I want people to know.
Very good.
Honestly.
Very good.
Because viewers are looking for that.
Very good. Well, in the scope of what I was saying a few seconds ago, I don't always even feel like the friendliest person. And it bothers me, Jason, because at the heart of the matter, at the crux of the situation, I love people. Jason asked me earlier, and we've had conversations throughout the past, why are we doing what we do? Why are we doing what we do? And that wasn't a break of the voice. That was intentionally high pitched, because sometimes you have to ask yourself, as you're even trying to figure out what that identity is, why do I do?
Yes.
what I do. And for me, the crux, the situation, right, the foundation, let's just say the substratum of the reason why I do what I do is because I love people, and there's no greater feeling, Jason, no greater feeling of satisfaction when you go into someone's home, office space, household, if you will, and you're able to fix a problem or deal with situations, and you know that that person, you leave them far better than what you found them.
Yes. Yes.
And I love it. Some people get their kicks out of fixing cars. I don't know anything about that. Some people love riding motorcycles. I'm afraid of that stuff.
Same here. Same here.
I get my kicks out of serving and helping people. Serving and helping people, how? Well, any which way. But then when I could couple that with what my profession is, because I really feel that our vocation is service. And when you're able to couple your vocation with your career path, not everybody's job is their vocation. But when I have the opportunity to wake up every morning and say, well, my vocation, wherever I'm at, doesn't matter, geographical limitation doesn't exist. Because wherever I go, I'm going to serve.
Amen.
I'm going to serve somebody by giving them a bottle of water. I'm going to serve somebody by helping them cross the street. I literally helped an old lady cross the street in a certain part of Chicago because the traffic lights were being fixed. And it was funny because after I did that, I said, I just helped an old lady cross the street. Which, you know, it's a big cliche. It's funny. But whatever and whenever I have the opportunity to serve, I love it because that's my vocation. I don't necessarily have to get paid to serve. And I do it with a smile on my face. Now, I couple that with, as you said, we're in the industry of insurance. And sure, does the industry of insurance have a stigma to it? Sure. And that stigma comes because of so many people that have not done a good job for others in the past. And it's not a very popular industry in the marketplace of ideas. But when we are able to serve and serve correctly, no greater feeling. No greater feeling. So my name is Ivan Rivera. I'm a Puerto Rican from Chicago. Like Jason said, we both went to high school together.
Yes.
And we both worked actually at the same time for several months together at our local grocery store.
That's right.
And then now we are in the same path in regards to the insurance, to our vocation and our profession. And when it comes down to the faith aspect of our journey, we're on the same path as well. So I'm super excited because when he stops by my office to drop this off, you know, you said I could be real, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've had so many people that have said, yeah, we're friends and there's friendship. But you'll know who's a friend when you're going through something. The other day, he and I are having a conversation, and maybe a good 2 minutes, let's just say 2 minutes in, he says, Ivan, are you okay? You sound down. That was a few days ago.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, amazing. I'm like amazing because he was able to connect not with what I was saying, but with who I am. Not with what I was saying, but with who I am. So I really value that type of relationship, and I really value that friendship. That is what we are made out of. We're made out of relationships. And if we're not able to use those as catalysts to bless others, then I don't know what we're doing.
I'm going to step away for a quick second because I want to grab something that you gave me, along with me delivering a patch.
Awesome.
I get something in return, everyone. So.
Awesome. So, hey, guys, I know we're not live, but we just wanted to come to you with a very real video. I got the patch, and look, what you
see? The
There
shirt, Huepa, ready for the summer.
Very cool.
So,
Fortius.
super excited.
And what is that? Can you show that shirt one more time?
Absolutely.
So it says Fortius, and right here, I don't know if you could get it closer to the camera. Be stronger. Awesome. Can I give the real quick backdrop?
Please
of
do.
that?
Please do.
So Fortius is a word in Latin. It's actually Altios Sitios Fortios. And what it is it's the old Olympiad theme, or the old Olympic theme.
Wow.
And Altios, Sitios, Fortios. So you and I are in gymnastics.
Okay.
Let's just assume he and I are in gymnastics. Or whatever sport. That's the first one I came to mind. Let's say football. Let's say some type of Olympic sport, let's just say. And, let's say there's three of us. Someone gets first place, someone gets second place, and someone gets third place. First place, you get a gold medal. Second place, you get a silver medal. And third place, you get a bronze medal. It doesn't matter what sport or what event you're in, to be able to not only get up on the podium, but to be able to go to the Olympics is amazing. It's just a few people in the world that get to do that. And then out of those few people, you're either the best, the second best, or the third best for the next 4 years in that sport. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. However, the Olympiad theme, or at least the old Olympiad theme, told those people that were at the top of their class or at the top of their sport that it doesn't matter if you were first, second, or third. Sure, you're the best. You could go around saying you are the best. But the spirit of the man moves you, compels you to go further, to go higher. And at the rear portion of those medals, there is that Olympiad theme. Altios, Sitios, Fortios. Altios, jump higher. Sitios, run faster.
Nice.
Fortios, be stronger. So I said, amazing. So I took the word Fortius, or Fortios, and I said, be stronger. How can I help people through insurance to be at a more advantageous position, a stronger financial and insurance position, to create a stronger financial and insurance portfolio? Fortios, be stronger. And then I said, well, wait a minute. I do a little bit of motivational speaking as well. How can I help you to be at a more advantageous position in life? Fortius, be stronger, meaning it doesn't matter what you're going through. I said, I don't always feel like a winner, but I can look deep down inside and say, I can still jump higher, I can still run faster, and I can still be stronger. I don't always feel like the friendliest person, but I can still jump higher, I can still run faster, and I can still be, what? Stronger.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And that's what I love what he does. I love his mission. You could see how we can relate. I've had my aunt who he's helping say, my God, you guys resemble each other. You look like brothers. But we've grown up together pretty much. I mean, if you look from high school, I think, 15, 16, maybe 16 and on, and at the grocery store, pushing carts, bagging, at Tony's Finer Food, both of us on Belmont near Cicero. So if you're familiar with the area, you know what we're talking about. You shared some great information, and I love how you were able to share the transparency, and I love how you were able to share who is Fortius, how was it founded. Talk to me about when we were in high school. Where did you see yourself then? What was Ivan's identity then?
Sure.
And then how did, after high school, just share on your story, because there might be a young individual out there watching this right now thinking, I'm a sophomore, I'm a junior in high school. What am I going to do after high school? Because I know, at least for me, and I'm sure for you, I graduated from Kelvin, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I thought, there's so many options out there, but I'll be honest, I wasn't doing well in high school. I didn't have the best grades.
Yeah.
So I didn't envision myself to be in a professional industry like where we're in today.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of talk on that.
Absolutely. So at a very young age, I decided that school or schooling may not have been the best course of action for me. What do I mean with that? I'm not saying I decided not to go to school. I decided that, wait a minute, let me be real. I wasn't the best individual in academia. I wasn't the strongest academic.
Same here.
And let me be honest, if you ask me, please don't ask me what my GPA was.
Don't worry about it.
Because it wasn't very impressive. And I know, just FYI, as you listen to this video, I'm a strong advocate that school is needed. If I go to see my doctor, I want a doctor that went to school.
Yeah.
if I go to see my lawyer, I probably want a lawyer that went to school. So certain careers, certain occupations, you must have that. But other avenues of life, you need the education. You don't always necessarily get the education in a 4-year university or a 2-year college. So sometimes you get it, sure, you can go to a trade school, but sometimes you get it through a family member, through a mentor. So when I was in high school, I remember I was sitting in, I think it was algebra. That first day or the first 2 days of school, you know, especially as a freshman, you get your schedule and you go to each class. And I remember I was sitting and I said, I don't understand how you could put letters and numbers together and you can subtract one from the other or multiply an X above a number. And if I'm being honest and clear, I'm always honest but very clear, I probably couldn't solve some of these problems today.
I'm with you on that.
So I was sitting there and I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I remember telling myself, these are going to be the longest 4 years of my life. You know, at that age, you tend to blow things way out of proportion. And I thought to myself, and I said, these are going to be the longest 4 years of my life. And to be honest with you, I never imagined the point that I would get out of high school. Now, as maybe my family members watch this video, just FYI, they probably don't know some of the things I'm going to say today. But I thought, I'm just not going to get through this. And even in there, in that mindset, because you asked me what were some of the struggles, you know, you start hanging out with some people and they start leading you down different paths. At the end of the day, you are the person that's making the decision. Even though the influence is around you, you make the decision. But someone said, and I heard it the other day, you are the average of the 5 or 6 people that you surround yourself with.
I believe in that strongly.
And an ancient writing, let's just say it, the Bible, it says bad company corrupts good morals. If bad company corrupts good morals, the opposite must ring true. That good company strengthens good morals. So if I have good company and I'm the average of 5 or 6 people that I hang around with, and the morals that were instilled by my family, by my parents and my teachers in church and things like that, if I couple all of that together, well, guess what? I'm going to have a pretty productive life. Now, in high school, it was rough because I lived across the street. So I had to figure all of that out. I had to figure out if I had a bad day at school, meaning if I you know, the troublemaker stuff, the OG, the mom, was right across the street. So I went through a lot of things, and I'll never reveal on video or social media those intimate parts. When I say intimate parts, those intimate dealings that maybe you even saw me go through, right, in the hallways and things of that nature at school. But I'll reserve them for maybe a fireside chat, a conversation that we could have, some type of motivational speech. Because let me tell you that one of the things that I feel that is going on today is that our youth is being bombarded like never before. Bombarded with what? Look at social media. Look at just the different agendas politically, social. Look at how society is playing out today. I feel that our youth is being bombarded with so many issues that is really clouding their form of thinking and their perspective in order to figure out their identity.
I agree.
So, you know, we talk about don't limit your identity, and many times what I see is a straight out attack, a full out assault, so that our young people, first and foremost, don't even understand what their identity is. So right off the bat, they're being short-handed because their identity is being clouded and is being misconstrued right off the bat. So I hope I'm not going off on a tangent here, but one of the things that I found out is that if you stick You know, the Bible says, stick closer than a brother. Some people stick closer than a brother. Some people, you don't even want them in your life. And oftentimes, those are the people that are around you.
Right.
But one of the things that I really want to tell someone that's probably viewing this video, one of your viewers that are on some type of social media channel, listen, I thought that I was not going to get past those 4 years. Been out of high school, quick math, 18, 19 years, 20 years, 01.
01, so 19?
So 19 years out of high school, and I've dated myself. I'm 35 years of age. I'm about to hit my 36th year on the 4th of July. And if you're in the vicinity of where I live, you know we do it well, we do it right. But I'll say this, I want you to know, if you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-ish, I know I said about 6 years, well, depending on your birthday, you might be in high school at those ages. I want you to know this. Don't think it's over. Don't think it's the end. Don't think you're not going to make it. Don't think like, oh, I don't know who I am. There are people out there that really have your best interest at heart. Times you've got to position yourself in order to be around those people or have those people around you. So, Jason, I'm really thankful because whenever I have the opportunity to speak life into someone, there's nothing greater than that.
Absolutely. You said it. Many great things around, especially with the young adults, dealing with the challenges they have with identity. I mean, they have, many times they believe their identity is formed within their own neighborhood, right? Their surroundings, what they see, the violence, and so on. Along with that, they're dealing with abuse through social media. I mean, they're measuring how many likes or hearts they're getting on that, and based on that determines, if they're popular or not. I mean, there's so many challenges out there that I know that, we may think back then we had some stuff, but they even had that plus 10 times more, I believe, when you're looking at all these different social media platforms and how they're attacked in many different ways and so on. Now, after high school, what exactly took place after that? So you graduated, 18, 19 years ago. Now you're 18. They're telling you, welcome to adulthood. Mm-hmm. What happened from that point on?
Yeah, credit card debt.
Credit card. I tell you, I mean, there are statistics that show that the average teenager, by the age of 21, they're already declaring bankruptcy because they don't know about that. Yeah. That's another area that I know you have done and I have done, where we talked about to the youth on credit, how to establish it, how to manage it, how not to fall into debt, how to use credit the right way. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I graduated at the age of 17, about a month and a half before my 18th birthday, which was July of 2001, which, if we're looking at a timeline, was about 3 months before 9/11. And on 9/11, so about 3 months after or 4 months after my graduation, I found myself at lower level 3. It was a mailroom at a building on Michigan and Randolph.
Okay.
And I saw people running around. I'm like, what's going on? It was early in the morning. I saw some people forming a circle and doing a prayer. And I just didn't know what was going on. We saw on TV, everything that happened. I was working now full-time at a mailroom, and I was also going to college at night. I signed up for computer networking. At that time, I'm not sure what computer networking is all about today. But at that time, in 2001, August of 2001, computer networking was about opening up the computers and dealing with the chips. And I think I lasted like 3 months. I didn't last a semester. I remember it was a Wednesday night. I would go to work from 7:45 in the morning to about 4 p.m., get home at about 4:45, eat, change, go to school from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And it was a Wednesday night, and I got up and I told the teacher, you know what, I don't feel very well, professor. I don't feel very well. I'm going to leave. Well, I never went back. And so then I continued working. And it's been a non-stop journey in terms of work ever since. I'll tell you this, I've always done well on my resume. I've always done really well at interviews. I think out of all the jobs, and I've had plenty, out of all the jobs, I think one interview I went to that I didn't get the job. Out of all the ones that I had. So very important to learn how to interview well. learn how to dress well for the interview, learn how to carry yourself well during the interview process. But here is, if I can fast forward, I found myself several years ago, about 3 to 3.5, and already understanding more of what my identity was. And I found myself asking myself the question, am I unleashing my potential? You know, we say knowledge is power. But someone, this is not original to me, but someone said knowledge is potential power. You know, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but what are you going to do with it? You know, the world is given not just to the dreamers. The world is given to the dreamers that do.
Love it. Love it.
No, there's a...
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intervene, but I did hear this similar concept that you were sharing, leading on where knowledge is power, but also someone shared with me, it's not power unless you apply it.
There you go.
Because without, I mean, you gain all this knowledge, what do you do with it?
There you go.
I mean, how many people do we know out there that actually have a degree, but they're not even in that field that they majored in, right?
Mhm.
So,
And I get super passionate about this because about 4 or 5 things just went through my mind right now.
Okay.
So when I get to talking fast, it's because I'm passionate, I want to get them out.
Yes, yes.
And I'll tell you this, one of the ones that went through my mind when we're talking about knowledge is power, knowledge is potential power, is PMA, positive mental attitude.
Yes.
You know, there's 4 characteristics to PMA, positive mental attitude. For our Spanish speakers, actitud mental positiva. So 4 characteristics, which are optimism, enthusiasm, initiative, and faith. You can have all the optimism, all the enthusiasm, all the initiative, all the faith, but you've got to put arms and legs to that vision. You've got to put arms and legs to that dream. Listen, I don't care if you're a mechanic. Why do I say mechanic? I got an uncle that's a mechanic. I'm not looking down from my insurance pedestal. No, I'm not. That's not it at all. I'm not looking down mechanic. I need mechanics that I don't like to get my nails dirty. But it doesn't matter if you're a mechanic, be the best mechanic and teach other mechanics to do the same.
yes.
If you're a mechanic, teach other mechanics to be like you if you're a good mechanic, and then go open up some type of mechanic shop. You know, put arms and put legs. Don't just allow it to be head knowledge and heart knowledge. The world is full of people with head knowledge, heart knowledge. We now have to begin to put arms and legs to it. That's why I told you, Jason, at the beginning, I don't always feel like an entrepreneur. Sometimes, and if I'm being clear within my reality, sometimes I feel more like a wantrepreneur. And that's not a phrase that I coined, that's Mark Cuban from Shark Tank. A quick plug, right? Sometimes I know that I'm an entrepreneur, but I feel like a wantrepreneur. But there's nothing more liberating, Jason, than to sit down with somebody and say, listen, this is my transparent moment. This is my transparency, my transparent moment within my vulnerability. I need help. I need help. I'm trying to put arms, I'm trying to put legs, I've got the heart knowledge, or the head knowledge, the heart knowledge, that is ingrained. But I'm having trouble putting arms and legs to this vision. Well, let me tell you that it can be done. You know, I said this to someone many years ago, actually, not the other day, many years ago. You've just got to keep moving forward. And they said, well, that's very cliche. Okay, well, if you don't stop moving forward, the opposite of not moving forward, it's not staying still or staying stagnant. It's actually regressing versus progressing.
Love that.
So you decide, you know, you think, well, I'm going to hit the pause button on my dreams, my goals, my visions, my aspirations. I'm going to hit the pause button. You're not hitting the pause button and staying stagnant or still. If you're not progressing, you are regressing. That's good all by itself.
That's powerful.
If you are not progressing, you are regressing. And let me tell you, society needs entrepreneurs and even wantrepreneurs that say, you know what, I'm going to progress, but with the right heart in the right place. So, positive mental attitude, optimism, enthusiasm, initiative, and faith. But you've got to be able to put arms and legs to this matter. So, a couple years ago, several years, about 3 years ago, I said, you're not unleashing your potential. And I made a decision to leave where I was at. Very content. I had a salary and I had commissions, and I was the guy in charge. Salary, commissions, and in charge. I was working 40, definitely, 50, 60, sometimes even close to 70 hours per week. Some day, through Saturday. And you get to the point where, you know, you get that entrepreneurial bug. Be careful with that bug. Be very careful with that bug. And to your viewers, that's what I'm saying. Be very careful with that bug. Just because you see someone else doing it, that doesn't mean you are assigned to that same thing. And it surely doesn't mean that it may be your time just yet.
Love that. Love that.
And I'm just going to pause there real quick. Because, oh, I've been bit by the entrepreneurial bug. Well, there's so much more that goes with it. Because let me tell you, I left my place of comfortability, my comfort zone, January of 2018, and it got hard. It was hard. It's hard.
Like, would you say it's similar to like going to the gym for the first time, right? Especially around January, that's when everyone's putting that New Year's resolution. They start going to the gym, and by February, March, or more closer to March, you see them phase out.
Yeah.
But many of the feedback you see from that, it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
They're stretching their muscles. They don't want to stretch it out. They don't want to keep working out.
Absolutely.
You think that it ties in kind of to what you were facing, but along with that, not like the others, you kept pushing through.
Absolutely. You have to push through. And I don't come and I don't speak from a place of all-knowing knowledge. Let that sink in. I don't speak from a place of all-knowing knowledge. It's amazing, Jason, and maybe you're going to tell me something after this video is recorded, but it's amazing how I'm 35 years old. We're pretty much in the same age range. I'm 35 years old. I have, let's say, associates that are the same age, and we were the same age back in when we were 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, and you would hear these people speak, and you're like, they know everything about everything. Let me tell you, that is a downfall to most people. Because if you're the person in the room that's speaking the most, speaking the loudest, well, I know that cliche and the memes say something about that statement. You know, you might be the loudest voice in the room, you're probably the weakest person, you might be the loudest person in the room, the person with the most knowledge, you're probably in a 10-gallon fish tank, you need to go elsewhere, etc. Here's what I'm going to say about that. If you're the person that's speaking the most in the room, well, my question is, are there other people in the room? And if there's other people in the room and you're the only one speaking, you're not allowing them to speak life into your life.
Wow.
And let me tell you, Jason, one of the things, let me just go ahead and take a few seconds to plug you. Because I've never told you this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it publicly, right, on this video. One of the things I like about you and what you're doing, not only do I like you, meaning I'm drawn to what you do, but I admire you, wow. Meaning I like the way you do what you do.
I do.
That is huge, and I respect you for that. Here's the thing. There's people in our positions that they have 1,000 followers. That's nothing on social media. I don't have 1,000 followers, I think. Well, maybe I do. But 1,000 followers is nothing. You think you have 1,000 followers, you think you're Gary Vaynerchuk, you know? Right. So somebody out there, oh, I'm like Gary V. Here's the thing, and you don't reply to them. And you just want everyone to like or heart or share, but they don't reply to those people. And that's a problem for me. Here's what I admire about you. You're constantly replying. Now you're going to get to the point where it's going to be hard. You're going to have to hire somebody to reply for you. That's a good word. That's a good word.
That'll be good. That'll be good, yeah.
But I admire it now because your heart's in the right place.
Thank you.
And even your responses are not fabricated. They're not system generated. They're like they are very real, and they come from the heart. So I just wanted to tell you that. Please never change that.
No,
please never change that.
So you shared a great amount of information. Another question I have for you, and I thank you because you're delivering here to the full transparency. How has your family contributed to your identity where you're at today?
I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
I'm not going to cry. I'm the youngest of 6.
Okay.
It's like the Brady Bunch. Dad, mom, and then sister, 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 brother, brother, and then me, brother. So it's 3 girls, 3 boys in that order.
Wow.
Let me tell you, and I have a mom that's currently going through cancer, and I have a sister that's also dealing with the same, and I have a brother-in-law that's not even a brother-in-law. he's a brother-in-law, but he's a brother. That, if you talk to this guy, you think I'm full of motivation and I can articulate my passion. Well, this guy right here, quick shout out to my brother-in-law, which is a brother, Jose Frausto, juvenile diabetes. And about 4 years ago, he has both legs amputated. And in the bed at the hospital, the tears that he shed weren't because of his situation. The tears that he shed were, how am I going to take care of my family? That's where I come from. That's the cloth
Speaks a lot.
where I'm from. You talk about, when I say you, we talk about magnetizing your life. You magnetize who you are. You pull towards you who you are. And when I look at my brother-in-law, I always stay quiet around him because his life has so much more to teach me than what I could teach others with quotes, phrases, etc. And so quick shout out to my brother, which is my brother-in-law, which is my brother. But then,
What's his name?
Jose Frausto.
Jose Frausto, thank you. Thank you for, having that right mindset, right? And along with that, having that heart to care for your family. It says a lot because you're not looking at the situation that took place, but you're looking at that heart where how can I take care of others, and you've been phenomenal to my brother here.
Absolutely.
And it's reached my heart today, and I'm sure to the viewers as well.
Thank you.
Shout out to you.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you to the viewers. Now I have 3 sisters that take care of me in different ways. One takes care of me psychologically. The other one I owe my life to in the sense of financially, economically. You know who you are. The other one beats me up every day if she could, verbally.
Okay.
But they all take care of me. They are all motherly in 3 different ways, right?
Okay.
But let me tell you, everyone says family are the first ones to put you down. Well, out of my entire family, yeah, that does happen. But I have the good sense to put them on a pedestal because my family has been nothing but supportive in many ways, in many different ways. But let me tell you, like I tell some of my nieces and nephews, at the end of the day, Jason, when you're really in trouble, you really know who you could run to.
Yes.
You
So
really know who you could run to. You absolutely know who you could run to. And let me tell you, I'm reminded, if I may,
Yes.
the biblical story of the Prodigal Son. He tells the father, hey, you're pretty much dead to me. Give me what's mine. My inheritance. It should have been given when the dad died. So he pretty much tells the dad, you're dead to me. Give me what's mine. Goes, squanders it, etc. Ends up in the pig's pen. And he says, you know what? This is not good. So he has a repentance moment. Looks back towards the father's house. When he's coming back towards the father's house, Scripture, the story teaches that the father sees him from afar off. And he doesn't wait for the son to come back all the way back into the stable, into the home, but the father runs out towards him. And he hangs on the son's neck. Well, here's something that's very important that most people don't teach. There is a ceremony called Kazeza ceremony. And if the sons or the daughters treated their parents with ill respect or in a very bad way, the community would take a piece of pottery and throw it on the ground and break it. And that was the Kazeza ceremony, meaning you're out of this community. Well, the father has enough sense, and he says the community is about to oust him once and for all. He'll never be able to come back to my house, the father's house. Let me go out and get him. Let me go out and save him. Let me go out, and then once I save him out there, I'll bring him back into the fold. That's just powerful all by itself. So I want to tell you that many times what my family has done is what many families do. They don't wait for you to come back into the fold. They go out there and reach you. They go out there and save you. They go out there and put you on a pedestal. Then they bring you back in. Then they crown you with favors and mercy. And that is what I've found my family has done. And at the end of the day, I'd be remiss if I don't say it. That is what our Heavenly Father has done for my life. If I have any measure of success today, I could trace it back to one person. Not my family here on earth, but my Father in heaven.
Amen.
So I just love that.
That's powerful. Thank you for that. So you've shared quite a bit. You've shared, who is Ivan, the meaning behind Fortius Inc. You shared how your family has contributed to your life. You shared what you faced in high school. And when he says he lived near the school, literally across the street, I mean, we could look out the window, scream out, "Ivan, are you coming?" I mean, so close. I mean, I thought I was close, but very close. And then you shared, how your sisters played a part in your life, how your brother-in-law played a part in your life. Before we reach our final recording, I want you to just share one main lesson for viewers, whether it be around life, or whether it be in insurance, because there's such a huge demand out there and people don't realize the importance of insurance. Many times they think, I need it because it's required for me to drive my vehicle. It's required because my mortgage lender tells me I need it. Well, what about our life?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
I'll turn it over to you. I mean, what lesson would you like to share with the viewers that they could take away with? I mean, you shared a lot of lessons today, and I hope that they appreciate the time you take. I know I have. But one quick lesson
Absolutely.
before we come to an end.
Absolutely. Thank you, and thank you for the platform. If I could sum it up in a phrase or in a few short phrases, there's much more information out there than what you and I currently have and hold already. So there's more information out there. Sometimes we tend to listen to the loudest voices. Well, the loudest voices exist as the loudest voices, maybe because of the amount of money that they put into their marketing fund. So the loudest voice may not always be the best voice for you. So that was just good. That just came down. So the loudest voice may be the best voice for someone else, but the loudest voice may not be the loudest voice for you. So what do I mean by this? That what we need to be doing, because you asked me the question about insurance, what we need to be doing is making sure that we sit down with solid, credentialed folks. I sat down, if I may,
Please.
I sat down with a 74-year-old female, and I'm hesitating because I want to make sure I don't disclose personal information. So I'm going to keep it very general. 74-year-old female, I say female to woman for all the social justice warriors out there. 74-year-old woman purchased the policy in 2007, 2008, started paying $55 per month. 5 years later, it increased to $77 per month. 5 years after that, which is where she's currently at, increased to $106 and some change per month. 5 years in the future, by about 2021, she'll be paying about $153 per month. And 5 years after that, she'll be 80 years or older, the policy will cancel.
Wow.
Too many people, Jason, are out there saying, buy term and invest the difference. What are we talking about? Life insurance. Buy term and invest the difference. The problem is that buying term and investing the difference may not be the right strategy for everyone. So my question is that term policy that I just spoke of, was that the best product for her? No. So how do we resolve this? We resolve it, by setting her up with a new product, a firm or a fixed premium that will be permanent. That product that many people, those loud voices out there on radio, on TV are saying, don't do that. That's not a good investment. Well, I don't sell it as an investment. That's why I do things differently.
Yes.
So I sell it as a means to fix your current dilemma and your current situation. And guess what? Fixed. Check. Another proud and loyal customer.
We were talking earlier, like the reason we got into our industry and how we carry that passion on helping others. And you just share that right now. You help this woman figure out that what she currently had is not the right product. It's going to get worse as time goes on, and it's going to cancel out. And it's not going to meet her initial need, which I'm sure this rep met with her, and she expressed what that need was. Many times I feel like we're not really listening
Correct.
to what they're telling us.
Ooh, I love it. You asked me to share a lesson. Here is where I'm going to share that lesson. I'm going to share it in the form of a quote, and I'm going to read it because I just came off of 2 events, one last week in Elgin with Kevin O'Leary, he was there, and one last night with Robert Herjavec.
Nice.
They're both reality stars from ABC's hit show, Shark Tank. That's a plug. Robert Herjavec said these words: "It's not my job to listen to you. It's your responsibility to make me hear you." It's not my job to listen to you. It's your responsibility to make me hear you. Now, what's the moral? In Spanish, la moraleja of this story. That in whichever path we're taking, and whatever path we're taking, he was saying these words last night, and I'm going to echo these words. As a Christian man, not the best Christian.
We all fall short.
True. As someone that knows the book, no one cares about your problems.
That's true.
We're human beings. We're self-centered, in essence. And like you were sharing something with me that you're going to share in a future video about a veteran that you were able to help. We care. But never make the mistake of thinking that someone cares more about your problems than they do about their own.
Very true.
It's a very hard pill to swallow, but it's a pill that must be swallowed. And what Robert Herjavec was saying was, you've got to make sure that you're being clear in what you want in life. You got to make sure you're being clear in what your viewpoint, your standpoint is. You got to make sure you understand what that identity is, because at the end of the day, it's about your relationship with the man upstairs. Somebody's going to get mad because I said man upstairs. It's about your relationship with the big man upstairs. It's about the relationship with people around you. And in essence, it's about what the thumbprint that you leave, your mark. What mark are you leaving on this world? So it's not my job to listen to you. It's your responsibility to make me hear you.
That was great. I love that. Ivan, thanks again for sharing that lesson with everyone, sharing your story, you know, where you came from, your schooling, Fortius Inc. Just a lot of wisdom shared with everyone. I appreciate that. With that, I just want to make sure that the viewers could be able to connect with you on your social media platform, your YouTube channel. Anything else you'd like to share? Please.
Absolutely. Thank you, and thanks again, Jason, for the platform.
Absolutely.
I really do. I appreciate it. So you could find me at Fortius Inc. across all platforms, including the YouTube channel, where you'll find an interview that I conducted with Jason as well.
Excellent.
And it's Fortius Inc. Fortius is Fortius and the variations of it would be Fortius_INC. Plug it in. You guys know how social media works. Plug in Fortius INC, and you'll be able to find additional content.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that, everyone. I hope you found value with this. I hope you were able to learn something from the lesson that Ivan shared, along with that, his story and just everything that he went through and how he reached to the point where he's at today. So thank you again.
Check us out. We're here to help you. We're here to serve you. Fortius Insurance Group Incorporated. You have a friend in the industry. You have 2 friends in the industry.
That's right. And as always, remember, don't limit your identity. Take care now, and God bless.